saying it wasn't COVID, so
Oh, that's good.
happy to get back to life, so to speak.
That's good. I like it. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna click record here. All right, so we're gonna look here at a little demonstration from HealthWay. Ms. McPherson is here to show us just briefly about the new products that they have available for us. So I'm gonna turn it over to her at this time.
Good morning, everybody. We have an unseen enemy, don't we? We always have had unseen enemies, the Spanish flu and all that stuff way back when. But now, even more than ever, because of the contagiousness of Corona. So I'm going to talk to you about HealthWay. We're going to talk about the Saber for Luke, okay? How we go about taking care of all this stuff. And we've got a lot of things in place. Most everyone does. But what we see is this. Air going in looks like the air coming right out, doesn't it? We breathe it in and breathe it out. It looks fine. We can't tell that there's anything there. But what really is there is this. It's all there. And we're talking about different kinds of problems. Now, there are all kinds of pollutants. And now, you know, all of our buildings are so airtight because of AC and all of that kind of stuff. But it traps in several types of particulate matter. And I'm going to talk about what that is here in a second. What we start with is obviously pollution. Now that's outside. Then we go to animal. Y'all don't have animals there, but people do have animals at home and they come in with dander on themselves, okay? Then we go to pollen, asthma and such. Then we have man-made VOCs, volatile organic chemicals. That would be anything from Teflon pans, off-gassing, to sprays. Now we're all doing spraying of the air. We're spraying surfaces. When you spray the air, it goes in. It may or may not grab anything and it may or may not kill it. But then it goes down and then it off-gasses all day. The other things that off-gas are furniture, paint, and they continue to off-gas over time. Those things go and affect our nervous system. And of course the viruses. Now this is a more communicative virus than we have had in the past, but we also have flus and all that stuff. And if somebody sprays or cleans the room, you walk in, you now release new stuff into the air. Now what is a particulate matter and why is it important? We take in over 24,000 breaths a day. With each breath, we all inhale 12,000 particulates with each breath. Interesting, isn't it? Now what's a particulate matter? Now I know you're a science guy there, Mr. Knight, right?
Yes.
And we are talking to teachers. So this is a particulate matter 10 microns. Now what's over here is the size of a human hair or a piece of beach sand, okay? These are things that you normally can probably still see, like a dust particle or such. Then we go a little bit smaller down to, and I'll send all these to you. This is a 2.5 particulate matter. And here's bacteria and stuff like that. Now, what's been the standard up until now has been something called HEPA. And it's been the standard since probably the 80s. And then what they added was an ultraviolet light to HEPA, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But HEPA, it basically filters. You've heard of air filtration. It filters down to a 0.03 micron, and it traps it, and then you clean out the vent. Then they added where's my little piece of paper? Then they added the UV lights to it inside of the AC units to kill the bacteria that live there that goes into your unit and out, causing allergies and such. That still cannot catch or kill corona, okay, because it's only filtering down to a 0.03. Coronavirus is actually a 0.01, and this technology that I'm going to introduce to you is called HealthWay. And HealthWay was designed with a grant from the Military Defense Department to try to find something to combat viral, biological, and chemical warfare. So this is the vanguard, the newest technology in the industry now. And it filters down to a 0.007. So not only does it filter, it traps and then kills it. So I'm going to show you how that works here in just one sec. And here's the here's the little UV unit. That's all that is. here's what they did with the U.S. government, and they used that in safe rooms for their generals and stuff like that. I'll show you a few other people. Now, they studied it on something called SARS. Now, SARS was a lot more deadly, but not as communicable as COVID. But they studied it because it is a similar type of virus. So let me show you how this works. We have a 9-stage filtration system. And I'm going to turn this down where you can see the unit. This is called the HealthWay Deluxe. This actually filters 2,000 cubics of air very quickly. You saw how quickly when I was in your office what it did. So you've got filters. This filter down here, I don't know if you can see that, is called zeolite. Now y'all are all teachers, but I'll kind of tell you what zeolite stands for. It is a compound. Can you still hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It is a compound that is the most absorbent for VOCs, volatile organic chemicals. And what it's used for is to filter formaldehyde, all of those things that are in the air that nothing else has been able to touch. And it also, in other uses, is used for repurposing nuclear waste, so it's that important. So there's 9 stages in here. This is what we call the kill zone. It's the DFS technology that we designed with the military. And what it does, it comes up, traps the organic chemicals, it traps the particles, and then the virus, all those little tiny things get caught in here. This then incinerates it at 18,000 volts. That's how you get rid of it, okay? You can't kill it any other way. It has an on-off button. I'm going to show you how to test it. Now, by the way, I am your local person. I am here in Ennis, y'all. You know that's our town slogan. But I am local, and I'm the only person here in Texas. This is our air meter. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to plug this in. I didn't want it on. Let me show you what this means, which means that I'm going to be able to come by any time at your convenience and do an air quality test in anybody's office or in any particular school or gym or anything like that. Now what you're seeing right here, can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, these are, what you're seeing, that little thing blipping around is just my computer interference. Once I put it over there, it'll go away. The bigger number is the smaller particulates. Now the particulates that can pass the nose hairs are the dangerous ones, which are the VOCs and all of the smaller things like dander and dust and all that kind of stuff. They go in unfiltered through the nostrils. They then lodge in the lung tissue and go into the blood system unfiltered. Isn't that something? So those are the larger, and you have to add 2 zeros to it because it's per cubic, okay? So that would, right now we're at 20,000, and then this one is the bigger ones, okay? So I got a lot of stuff in my house. So it's on. I'm going to turn on the machine. What you do is you turn it on. It has stages here. I like to take it up to turbo. And then you turn on your DFS. That's disinfecting filtration system. That's where that happens. What's going to happen now is I'm going to put this, let me plug it in over here so that I can get it a little bit closer to the camera. You can see it. So now I've got this on. Here's where we are in numbers at this point. And I'm going to put it right over here. Now this will filter down to class 2 medical grade air, 90% in 30 minutes, and in 2 hours you are 100% class 2 medical grade air. And I mentioned to you yesterday, wouldn't it be wonderful when parents and staff are looking at coming to Ennis to say that you have the first line of defense for their health and safety. So what you'll notice is it's going to start decreasing. I'm going to turn it where you might be able to see it. So now, just within seconds, we're already to this.
Gotcha.
And I'll leave it there for a second. And what's next? So that's how that works. Now those need to be changed out every so often. Depends on where it is, and it depends on the traffic area. But nothing's going to continue to filter as effectively throughout the day. And I would put it in your higher traffic areas and stuff like that, or your moist areas as well, or where people are breathing more, like in the gym and stuff like that. People who use this, let's say the Crystal cruise lines, because that's one of their biggest things when they get stuck out at sea. If they get a virus, wow, it's over. Marriott, BMW, Texas Instruments uses it to make their little chips and stuff in a safe, clean environment. Now I'm at 62.3. Also, it's recommended by all kinds of environmental biology people, hygienists, risk management, even fertility doctors. Isn't that interesting? And all kinds of people. And so then you go from clean to unclean to clean, just like that. Interesting, huh? Okay, so now I'm at 0 large particulate matter and 1,500 on my, and you saw how quickly in your office, we had it way over at the back by your clock, and it was almost at 91,000. And then we had it on for like 3 minutes, and then we moved it over to your desk, and even that far over into your office, it had already decreased by several, 2,000?
About 25%.
25%, just within 3 or 4 minutes. And now I'm at 0, 15 and 0 right now is where we're at. Okay. So we recommend, in theory, you would do, it covers about 1,000 to 1,500 square feet, depending on the traffic, the door opening, and all that kind of stuff. But I would definitely put it where your staff is and where your most amount of stuff. Now, during the night, it will clean out. If you position one in a hallway or something like that, it's going to start cleaning and pulling out of those rooms because it's so effective at doing that. Now, for the same cost as you can do a secretary station for your staff, you can do a HealthWay machine and have it for all of the time. Now, y'all have to determine where you want to station them and how you want to use them. The filtration, changing all that out, frequency and stuff like that. It does have a button here that tells you when you need to change out the particular filters, but I'm here local and I can do that for you, or I can show your staff how to do that. It will also come with a sticker for your door. Let people ask about what that is and why we have it. I think that's a big safety point for people, and especially people not really wanting to bring their kids back to school or not really wanting to come back to work. And by the way, let's just talk about, even if we forget the coronavirus right now, we're talking about allergies and stuff like that. In general, people will lose about 6.5 days of work due to illness, whether that's flu or allergies or their kids' allergies or whatever, asthma, that kind of stuff. But once you start using this, you'll be back down to about 1.5 days of sick time. So now you're talking about keeping your staff healthy as well. Is there anything else you want me to address?
No, ma'am. I think that was a good overview, and I think that gives them enough information and a good demonstration to see what the product does.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm all about health, and this to me, it's a no-brainer, because the only 2 things that really go into our body, well, actually maybe 3, are food and air. And we don't even know all that stuff's going in the air and lodging into our lungs, do we? We didn't even know it. So, and then we absorb. So we're doing all of this spraying, and we're touching and all of that stuff, and we're breathing in our own air, what we're putting back out, and then we're getting chemicals in to go with it. So I think it's very important, and I'd love to help you with that.
Okay. Very good. I appreciate your time, and I'm going to stop recording right now. And
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So that should be good to go. You did mention that you were recording as well?
I am.
Okay, good deal. If for some reason something on my end screws up, then I will send you an email and say, hey, can I get a copy of yours? Maybe it would be a backup plan, so to speak. So
Very
I
good.
appreciate your time this morning.
Okay, and what process do y'all go through to?
So I would assume that they should all be able to watch this between now and the weekend. I don't want to tell them, hey, watch this today, let me know today. I'd rather
Yeah.
give them some, get to it and not rush them into a decision like that.
Yeah.
But I think I can give you a call back sometime next week and give you an answer.
Yeah, and I think even if you started just with your admin building, and y'all, I mean, you wanted me to leave it, and then I went, oh, I forgot we got other appointments. But I mean, I think you even want one in your office, and yeah, no rush on this. Just wanting to know what your process was on it, and I do have them in stock. I can ship them right out, and we can do a 3-pay or whatever, however you want to do it, whatever's easy for y'all. You feel like this is important?
Absolutely.
You do. I'm glad that you're a science guy, because a lot of times when I'm going to the schools, I end up talking with the maintenance people, you know what I mean? Because they're in charge of the spraying and all of that. So, but Puerto Rico got one for every room down there. Puerto Rico, the whole school district down there.
Wow.
Yeah, and remember when New York City was closed down again? As soon as somebody walks in, nothing changes, I mean, nothing really has happened in theory. As soon as you walk in, if you've got the virus.
Yeah. Alrighty, ma'am. Well, I appreciate it.
I sure appreciate you, sir. Thank you for taking the time.
You bet. You bet. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks, you too. And I'll forward you the files of the graphics and some information. There is another video that I'll include with that I don't think is on the official website. You saw the one where they're showing you through the room and all that stuff, yeah. Do you think that one's effective, or do you want to hear the president talking about it?
I think it was effective. I actually have linked that into our little meeting yesterday when I talked about it. There was also a link for them directly to that video to watch. But I like to see, literally, here's the machine showing you how many particulates. Let me turn the machine on. And, I mean, you can't argue that. So.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, it's crazy how fast it works. Did they seem to go, that's cool, we haven't seen it?
We had a lot of our agenda, so I talked about it. We didn't actually pull up the video and watch it together.
Yeah.
They were to watch it on their own. We talked about that, and then other COVID protocol that reminders about what we should be doing and what we're getting lazy on. So it's kind of wasn't our focus at that point in the meeting.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you have a lot of stuff on your agenda. All right, I appreciate you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.